Guys, we're gonna do a draw progression. Right after this, we'll shoot the same drill. We're gonna push hard on it, but there's a big gun handling element to this. Um, I don't think you can really improve, gun handling. It has to be worked on in dry fire, right? I always will advocate, right? Dry fire, if you can dry fire for 10 minutes a day, right? That's usually pretty good. Most people can do that. 10, 15 minutes if you can get it. But I think if you dry fire correctly, right, in terms of pace and then cognitively what you're thinking about and paying attention to when you're dry fire, for me, it's objective assessment of what's happening with the sights while it's happening and not after the fact. So we're going to go through a progression. What I see a lot of where guys are drawing is this. I'm just going to point over here. So they're making an initial break for the gun. Gun comes out, and now they're racing, and they end up crashing into the gun out here, right? Think of it, I want to build that grip as soon as possible, right? When I make that initial break for the gun, I want to move my support hand to a comfortable position close to the gun where I can receive it very early in the draw stroke, right? So for me, it's going to be an initial break for the gun where I come to the holster, I deactivate my GLS safety, I have a good high master grip, and my hand is in position ready to receive the gun. I want all of this to be done in 0.4 of a second. Get that on here.
And the nice thing here is like kind of the philosophy with the doing dry fire this way is you're setting a time that is aggressive. You will make the time, and we're okay. Like, it's okay to fuck up your grip as you're chasing that time. And it's like, it's not that that's the end state that you want to be making a bunch of mistakes. It's just we set a time that's reasonable, and you're going to work within that time to get a very, very good grip on the gun.
The time exists to add stress component to this, right? To get the hands moving aggressively as they can, right? I'm still valuing consistency above everything else, right? I'm gonna pull the trigger on this one because what I see a lot of in dry fire, right? Guys focus only on times. Would you agree with that? Right? So they're like, oh, I want this really fast draw, right? So I set some arbitrary par time, right? And this is what you see. Did I see the sights? No, because I'm fixated on the fucking time, right? And this is what happens where guys dry fire times against their live fire times, there's 60, 70% difference. Also, too, if I want to go fast and dry fire, how many of you guys have experienced you're not holding the gun like you're going to shoot, right? The grip, you're not assessing the grip correctly, right? And it's way too relaxed, all right? So we'll go through this draw progression, and none of it are we pulling the trigger, right? Everybody fixates on the draw time to first shot. For me, time to first shot is a byproduct of target distance, difficulty, and risk, right? Drawing at 5 yards, there's a time for that. Drawing at 20, there's a measured time for that, right? That all comes down to like a vision game of confirmation. When can I see acceptable? The gun movement, though, that's what we can work on dry fire, right? So I want 0.4. Initial break for the gun. I'm going to defeat my GLS. If you have ALS, you're going to defeat the ALS without moving the gun, right? How many times do you see guys do this? Right? Because you're not sequencing things correctly. So I got 0.4 for that aggressive movement. Right? I'm evaluating, do I have a good master grip? Is the safety defeated? Is my hand in position to receive the gun? That'll be the first component. The second one, same time, 0.4. All the safeties on my holster are defeated. Good master grip, hand ready to receive it. Gun comes up to my eye target line in 0.4 of a second. Right, assessing, did I build my complete grip well enough to shoot a bill? Right, and am I beating the time? Right, I'm touching the trigger. For me, I'm not pulling anything out of the trigger. I'm still assessing, is the dot in the center of the window? Do I pick up the dot? But at 0.4, I just want the movement of the gun. I'll combine those 2 times and add 1/10 of a second to pick up the dot, right? And this is where 0.9, drawing to a sight picture. Right? Dots in the center of the window, touching the trigger, grip is built, right? Put more aggression into it, right? And that's the pace we want. How many times do you see guys taking a perceived difficult shot? What does that do to the draw? Right, yeah, if I gotta shoot the head box at 20 yards, right? I like getting the gun up, spend that time aiming. Gun still comes up, 8/10, 9/10, I'm touching the trigger, I'm ready to shoot. And then now the difference in time to first shot measured is when can I see acceptable. Does that make sense? So we're gonna go through a 5-minute progression, right? Let's have the guns unloaded, nothing in the chamber, we're never gonna press the trigger, right? Make sure you have a full weighted mag and they'll be pointed down range, but at no point do we wanna press the trigger in this.